I'll ask you one last time. Do you feel like something's coming? Like now that we continue to talk about like every week, I'm like, dude, I kind of feel like this. And then like last week, we didn't even know about ice. Remember, if you listen to last week, it was just like there's a thing that's like ice happening, and then like within the 1 week span, it was like, dude, what just happened? You
Hmm.
know, it's like I'm just waiting for the moment where you're like, oh yeah, there's something happening, because I'm like I can see it. And I'm like, I don't know if everyone can see it right now, but there's like
Hmm.
a weird battle that was springing up, and it manifested, like I was saying, in the Drake versus Kendrick battle. Like that was just more of like the artistic expression of it, but like that's just everyone out here. We're all battling like the forces of evil, you know?
Hmm.
No, still like, oh, just humans being humans.
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there like another time when you're like, oh, this is exactly like that time? Like what are you referencing that to? Like, or maybe I'm just overly fixating on this sensation of good versus evil, or not even good versus evil, just wrong decision or right decision.
Uh, I mean, it's all man-made systems, right? Nothing is perfect.
What I'm saying is, I feel like the system's breaking. I feel like
Hmm.
that's the battle. The battle is the old. Let me clarify. You're right. The battle isn't between like good versus. It is good versus evil, right choice, wrong choice, but it's also really like the old system versus the new system.
Hmm.
The old system is like the bad choices. The We're in a society now where like parents can't even be parents because they have no time to be parents.
Hmm.
You're working so hard. Like, what are you doing, bro? So like with that, do you feel like we're running up to the edges of the operating system, or we're about to change it? I need a rationale.
Mm.
Don't just be like no. Like okay, like, I don't know why you said no, but
No,
like
no, no. I think no. I'm not saying no. I'm saying it's possible. Yeah, I think if there's like if the society is not working and there's a detriment, I think that there's change that needs to be
but
done.
do you, for sure. And but do you feel that society's not working and there's a detriment?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
There are
then one can
issues with
conclude,
society. Yeah.
but there's like okay, there's like World War II issues, and then we had World War II and nothing, but it kind of changed, but like we're still running that old operating system. Like, I'm wondering, have we run up to the end of the operating system's lifespan and we need to upgrade like, are you running iOS 4 on a iPhone 14? And you're like, dude, you need to get on iOS 14, bro. What are we doing?
Yeah. No, I think it's but you're still running on. Uh, it's still running under iOS software, right? But yes, you're on the
Oh, I
upgraded
see what you're saying.
version, but you're still running on iOS software. I don't think
No,
that
no,
changes, but I think
iOS is society. No, I agree. Like, society
yeah,
will not change. Like, we are society. But
yeah,
it's like the operating system's like the governance, the features, we'll still be a society. Like, I don't think we're just going to
yeah.
have
That's what I'm saying.
anarchy. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Like, no.
yeah,
We're still gonna have to collectively get along. We're always
sure.
gonna have an OS because there's so many of us. But what I'm saying is like, are we due for an upgrade? And are we about to get a new upgrade?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's what I'm feeling too, bro. And that's what I'm really seeing. I'm like, it can't all just be coincidence. And people are like, oh, you're hitting the age of Aquarius. It's like, what does that even mean? But now I'm like, oh, I see what you mean. Like, dude, it's looking crazy.
Hmm.
All right. And then my question is, what do you think it's gonna look like? Although technically they said you won't be able to fathom the world in 5 years, but it's like what like do you think that we'll still have unequal structures 5 years? It's almost like totalitarian government. We're all gonna be plugged into the matrix, and then you're all just like batteries. It's kind of how we're heading already.
Hmm.
Or are we gonna have like free agency, utopia, trying to build everything to the best of its ability,
I think we're reaching towards the latter.
like the best of its ability?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what is required of that?
well, change in
So,
that direction, change like going in that
let,
direction, right?
let, for sure, for sure. Let me say something like
Mm-hmm.
if you look at like all right, so like Philippines and China,
Mm-hmm.
they're not like happy together, right? But I saw this thing about like the technological abilities of China and like what they're building. It's like so unfathomable their engineering. So I sent it to my cousin who's like, like Philippines China tension. And I'm like, you gotta admit though that that's pretty impressive, the engineering. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, it is impressive. Yeah, China's amazing with their ingenuity. So it's like when I ask you what was required of that like evolution, does it require some sort of like totalitarian government? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do we need? You need like a benevolent ruler. Because we already talked about like breakaway civilizations and we think that we're free, but it's like really not because the banking system owns us. So it's like, do you need somebody to like come in there and be like, let's right these wrongs? And people are like, oh, Trump's the one that's going in there righting the wrongs. I'm like, what are the intentions of the person? That person has been charged with like
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
craziness and
Yeah.
like, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you have like a benevolent ruler, like maybe we just need to be ruled as a human species, bro.
Yeah, but I don't think that's not going to work. I think that's going to cause more problems, right?
But not ruled like, not ruled like, do it or die. Ruled like, hey, this seems like the best way forward, guys. We're gonna. I heard what you said. I heard what they said. We're trying to come to an agreement, and it seems like this is the best approach.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go this way, guys. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that's still a ruler, but
Mm-hmm.
like a benevolent ruler.
Right.
Like I'm wondering if we're just like a hive mind, bro. Like Tyler the Creator, he was saying this, like he's such a great artist because he can predict how the hive is gonna react. And I've never heard anyone say that before.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I gotta pay attention to the cultural zeitgeist, like the cultural consciousness, so that I can figure out how to manipulate them with my notes. And the hive mind works in a specific way. I was like, hive mind, whoa, you just said that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, maybe we just need a queen bee, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You think so? You said like
Yeah, I think that's what the is it the WEF or whatever that's called, the economic thing
World
where they
Economic Forum. Yeah, yeah.
yeah
Where they decide for us
where
what we're gonna
they
do.
try to work together to figure out the direction to go, right, together.
But there's so many conspiracies around that. That's the you'll own nothing and you'll be happy.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. Of course, there's going to be people who talk about the conspiracy around that, right? But if that's the scenario to reach all good for all humanity, because that's the only place where they can actually like work
Oh my god,
together.
what if it becomes like a one world government? Wait, what if it is a one world government? No, no, wait, hold on. Think about this. You have like
Mm-hmm.
a president with like governors.
Mm-hmm.
What if you just extrapolate that a little further, bro? The presidency is like the World Economic Forum. The governors are like the country owners.
Mm-hmm.
It already kind of is run like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because don't they get together and they're like, okay, these are going to be the policies?
Yeah.
Kind of a weird thought. Maybe we do have like a cabal at the top that nobody thought about. You're like, I live in a country, I'm free. But it's like, no, these dudes are meeting at the World Economic Forum to talk about fiscal policy, bro.
Yeah.
Best not to look into it. There's some things where you're just like, I feel like if I think too much about this one, I'm gonna go crazy. Like you're gonna like uncover, it's like too much information.
No, I
Would you
think
really want to know? Would you really want to know? What if you could find out the true? Here's a better question. All right, I gotta go soon. Here's a better question because Tara did this for me. She plugged in like her star sign into ChatGPT and like explain this to me, and she's like, "Oh my god, this is so cool! Like, I'll do it for you." And then you can ask him what your destiny is, right? I was like, I don't care. So, would you want to know if somebody could tell you like the truth about everything? Would you want to know? Like, oh, this is actually how it's run. Yeah, you're being manipulated by this. This is how money actually works, and like laws and governance. Like, yeah, we actually meet. We figure out there's actually UFOs totally out there, and we're just like, would you
Mm-hmm.
really want to know? Or would that break the psyche?
I'm trying to think. Would that remove any kind of like interesting things about life if you know everything?
Maybe. Would
Yeah.
it? Like,
Yeah. Then it's just then it'd be boring.
but not everything about like what you're gonna do. You still have free will. Like you can literally choose.
Mm-hmm.
Hard determinists, you and I. But then finding out quantum physics, it's real. Free will is real through like the what is it? The superposition.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. So, anyways, no, your choices will change. Can still change. But I meant like if you just knew everything about how the game was run, would you want to know? Do people really want to know that? The people asking for disclosure about aliens, do you really want to know that? The Epstein files, do you really want to know that? Do you really want to know how the CIA is run? You know what I'm saying?
I think
Who killed
they
JFK?
I think they want to know, but I don't know if they'll accept the truth, because
Do you want to know so you could
then your
validate?
journey ends.
No, no, no. But do you want to know so you could validate what you already know? Because you're saying that accept the truth, or do you want to know so you can appropriately adjust your point of view? See what I'm saying? It's like I want to know so I know I'm right, or I want to know because I want to know what's really going on. There's a total difference. There's like a slight difference there.
Mm-hmm.
Both sides
I
want to
think
know.
it's more. I think it's more like I want to know I'm right, and you won't
Yeah,
believe it if you're not right. Yeah.